Chapter 1: The Dopamine Trap.
In a world of constant notifications, endless scrolling, and instant gratification, your brain is under siege. Every ping, like and notification, floods your system with dopamine, the neurotransmitter not of pleasure, but of anticipation. Unlike any good Roman general facing an overwhelming enemy force, you need a strategy. Not just any strategy, but one forged over 2 millennia ago by the Stoic philosophers who understood human nature better than most modern scientists.
Today, we embark on a 30-day journey. Dopamine Detox, the Stoic Way. We'll explore how ancient wisdom from Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca provides the perfect antidote to our modern addiction crisis.
In Chapter 1, we'll understand the true nature of dopamine and why our brains are being hijacked. Chapter 2 reveals the Stoic concept of preferred indifference and how to apply it to digital consumption. Chapter 3 introduces practical exercises for creating cognitive distance from your cravings. Chapter 4 builds your daily Stoic routine for mental clarity. Chapter 5 shows you how to reframe pleasure and desire through the lens of virtue.
And finally, Chapter 6 integrates everything into a sustainable 30-day plan that doesn't require you to become a monk, just a more intentional human being.
Consider this. When researchers give a rat cocaine, it experiences a 1,000-fold increase in dopamine release compared to natural rewards like food or sex. Your smartphone, social media, and streaming services are engineered to deliver similar dopamine spikes.
The average person checks their phone 96 times per day. That's nearly once every 10 waking minutes. No wonder we're experiencing what neuroscientists call anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure from simple things.
But here's the remarkable part. Studies show that people who practice Stoic principles for just 1 week report significant increases in well-being, with the character trait that improves most being zest, a feeling of energy and enthusiasm for life. Chapter 2: The Stoic Solution.
Epictetus, born a slave in 55 CE, understood something fundamental about human freedom. Despite having his leg crippled by a cruel master, he taught that true freedom comes not from external circumstances, but from mastering our judgments about those circumstances.
When his students complained about their desires for wealth, fame, or pleasure, he didn't tell them to eliminate these things entirely. Instead, he taught them to see these objects clearly. When you have a tendency to drink too much, remind yourself that you are making a fool of yourself for some fermented grape juice. This technique, objectifying our desires, creates what modern psychologists call cognitive distancing. It's the same principle used in cognitive behavioral therapy today.
By describing the object of our desire in neutral, even clinical terms, we break the emotional spell it holds over us. The Stoics weren't against pleasure, they were against being enslaved by it.
The first step in your dopamine detox isn't to delete all your apps or throw away your devices. That's unsustainable and unnecessary. Instead, begin by identifying your primary sources of artificial dopamine spikes. Is it social media validation, video game achievements, binge watching?
Online shopping. Once identified, apply the Stoic practice of objectification.
When you feel the urge to check Instagram, pause and say to yourself, I'm about to look at carefully curated images designed to make me feel inadequate while selling me products I don't need. When you want to binge watch another episode, remind yourself, I'm choosing to numb myself with artificial narrative tension instead of engaging with real life. This isn't about judgment. It's about clarity.
Remember, the Stoics categorized everything outside our control as either preferred indifference or dispreferred indifference. Preferred indifference include things like health, wealth, and yes, even pleasure. They're not bad, but they shouldn't be pursued at the expense of virtue.
Your digital consumption should fall into this category. Useful when controlled, destructive when it controls you. Chapter 3. The Discipline of Ascent.
As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This is the core of your dopamine detox. You cannot control the algorithms designed to capture your attention, but you can control your response to them.
You cannot eliminate all sources of artificial dopamine, but you can choose when and how to engage with them.
Imagine a Roman senator in 100 CE, walking through the bustling streets of Rome. Everywhere he looks, there are temptations, exotic foods, beautiful courtesans, gambling dens, political intrigue. Yet he maintains his composure, his focus, his purpose. How?
Not by avoiding the city entirely, but by practicing what the Stoics called the discipline of ascent, the ability to withhold immediate judgment and reaction to impressions. Your smartphone is your modern Rome, a city of infinite distractions, packed into a device that fits in your pocket.
The discipline of ascent means pausing before you automatically reach for it. It means questioning the impression that you need to check your notifications. It means recognizing that the anxiety you feel when separated from your device is not a signal of genuine need, but of conditioned response.
Chapter 4. Your Daily Stoic Routine.
Your 30-day Stoic dopamine detox begins with 3 daily practices. First, morning intention setting. Before you even look at your phone, spend 5 minutes in silence asking yourself, what virtues do I want to embody today? How will I respond when my attention is pulled toward distraction?
Second, the evening review. Each night, reflect on 3 questions. When did I act according to my values today? When did I get hijacked by artificial dopamine? What will I do differently tomorrow? Third, scheduled engagement.
Rather than constantly checking your devices, set specific times for email, social media, and entertainment. Outside these times, keep your phone in another room or use app blockers. Remember Epictetus's teaching, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters.
Research from University College London found that it takes an average of 66 days to form a new habit. But significant changes in brain chemistry can occur in just 30 days.
Participants in dopamine detox programs report improved sleep quality by 40%, increased focus by 65%, and greater satisfaction with simple pleasures by 78%.
Even more remarkably, brain scans show that after just 2 weeks of reduced artificial stimulation, the brain's reward pathways begin to recalibrate, making natural rewards like conversation, nature, and accomplishment more satisfying.
Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is, poor. In our context, it's not that you have too little stimulation. It's that you crave more artificial dopamine.
True wealth lies in the ability to be present with what is, rather than constantly seeking the next hit of anticipation. Chapter 5. Rewiring the Brain.
Consider the story of Cato the Younger, who walked through Alexandria during a time of great political turmoil. While others panicked and scrambled for advantage, Cato maintained his composure, reading philosophy and discussing ideas with friends.
When asked how he could remain so calm, he replied that he had trained himself to distinguish between what was within his control and what was not. Your digital environment is your Alexandria, a place of constant upheaval and distraction. But like Cato, you can maintain your inner citadel.
The key insight from both neuroscience and Stoicism is this: your brain becomes what you repeatedly do. If you repeatedly seek artificial dopamine spikes, your brain becomes dependent on them. If you repeatedly practice presence and intention, your brain becomes capable of deeper satisfaction.
Weeks 1-2 of your detox focus on awareness and reduction. Track your screen time honestly. Identify your top 3 dopamine triggers. Begin implementing the objectification technique whenever you feel the pull toward these triggers. Weeks 3-4 shift to replacement and redirection.
For every hour you reduce in artificial stimulation, replace it with an activity that builds genuine competence. Learning a skill, physical exercise, meaningful conversation, or creative work. The Stoics believe that virtue is developed through practice, not just contemplation.
Weeks 5-6 emphasize integration and sustainability. By now, your brain chemistry should be shifting. Natural rewards should feel more satisfying. Continue your morning intentions and evening reviews, but also begin sharing your insights with others. Teaching reinforces learning, and the Stoics believe that wisdom should be shared for the benefit of all.
A fascinating study published in the Journal of Consulting and Clinical Psychology found that participants who combined mindfulness meditation with cognitive reframing techniques, essentially what the Stoics practiced, showed a 43% greater reduction in addictive behaviors compared to those using either technique alone.
The combination of awareness, mindfulness, and cognitive restructuring, Stoic objectification, creates a powerful synergy for rewiring the brain's reward pathways. Chapter 6. The Freedom of Enough.
Marcus Aurelius again. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Your dopamine detox isn't really about dopamine at all. It's about the quality of your attention, which determines the quality of your thoughts, which ultimately shapes the quality of your life.
There's a beautiful paradox at the heart of the Stoic approach to pleasure. By learning to be indifferent to external rewards, you actually become more capable of enjoying them. When you're not dependent on your phone for validation, you can genuinely appreciate a well-crafted message from a friend.
When you're not addicted to the anticipation of the next episode, you can truly savor a well-told story. When you're not constantly seeking the next dopamine hit, you become sensitive to the subtle joys of ordinary life, the warmth of sunlight, the taste of simple food, the sound of genuine laughter.
This is what the Stoics meant by amor fati, love of fate. Not just accepting what is, but finding genuine joy in it. Your dopamine detox, properly understood, isn't about deprivation. It's about liberation.
liberation from artificial dependencies, so you can experience authentic pleasure.
Your final week of the 30-day detox focuses on this integration. Begin each day by identifying one simple pleasure you'll fully experience. A cup of tea, a walk in nature, a conversation with a loved one.
Practice being completely present with this experience. No multitasking, no documentation, just pure attention. Notice how this single-minded attention transforms ordinary experiences into extraordinary ones.
This is the secret the Stoics discovered. True pleasure doesn't come from intensity of stimulation, but from depth of attention. A simple meal eaten with full awareness can be more satisfying than a feast consumed while distracted.
Your journey begins now. For the next 30 days, you'll practice the ancient art of attention management that the Stoics perfected. You'll learn to distinguish between what serves your highest self and what merely feeds your addiction to anticipation.
You'll discover that true freedom isn't found in having more options, but in needing fewer distractions.
Start tonight by charging your phone outside your bedroom. Tomorrow morning, before checking any device, spend 5 minutes in silence, setting your intention for the day.
And remember the words of Epictetus, "No man is free who is not master of himself." The path to reclaiming your brain and focus isn't through extreme measures or complicated systems. It's through the simple daily practice of choosing what deserves your attention.
Your ancestors navigated complex worlds with far fewer distractions and far greater wisdom. It's time to reclaim that wisdom for yourself. Join me in this 30-day experiment. Your future self, clearer, calmer, and more capable of genuine joy, will thank you.